First, to understand that you have two advisors. You have your international advisor and you have your academic advisor. And for classes, of course, you always have to go to your academic advisor. So that's one topic that was kind of confused for me from the beginning, because you get here and you think like Gio is the one who is gonna fix everything. If it is your first time like trying to understand the system, how to register classes here, you really need to understand like how to enter to my unit, how to use technology.
I did a lot of research about classes before I came here. So I heard it's competitive. If you want to register for classes, you better do it early, because people are gonna like fill up the class real quick, and that's what happened. So for me, what's important about registering for classes is actually find your advisor first, know who he or she is, talk to them, plan your degree really well. Like this semester I'm gonna do this, next semester I'm gonna do that. Otherwise, you wouldn't know what to register, and by the time you have decided what classes you're gonna register to, they're already gonna be full or closed.
It's also really tricky. You need to get to know if it's on campus, if it's outside of campus, what are the timings and where are the places that you're gonna take classes. So I pretty much referred to the people at Gio first, then I went to my academic advisor. He kind of like gave me like a schedule of classes that I needed to take for each semester. But I had to go and ask for it. It was not given to me.
I think one of the main shocks for international students that you are the one who choose your classes. So you are the one who have to decide if you are gonna waste your semester or just do something. Because of course I know many other countries, they just give you your schedule for the whole semester and that's it. You don't have other options.
I couldn't register in Bolivia like before coming, so I was freaked out. And I as soon as I got here, in my check-in, in the orientation, in everywhere, I was asking like Geo advisor, and everything. I was like, I didn't register for my classes. And then like they sent me to my department, so I have to ask, and because I need to take more like upper level classes, take halls out, so I can, because the prerequisites, so they took that off, so I can register for some of my classes. But my first 2 weeks were such a stressful weeks, because I didn't know, I didn't have my classes. Some of them were full, so I have to ask and talk with the professors and ask them if I can join the classes and everything.
It's more important about the quality of how you see your advisor and what questions you have before you see the advisor. So I don't see them too often, but when I see them, I get a lot from them, like in one session.
And she suggested me not to take too many courses in the first semester, because we need to adjust with the new culture, new environment, and we have jet lag and homesick and other kinds of all sorts of problems. So it's always better to take less courses in the first semester and then see how you can do with that courses, and maybe then take more courses in the coming semesters. But I didn't listen to my advisor. I took 15 credit hours for first semester, and that was a nightmare.
The resources that UNM has are very good. I pretty much use everything here. I went to CAPS, I went to the GRC, I went to the GPSA office, which is like kind of like on-campus offices that are focused on helping students too. I surrounded myself from people that will help me with my papers, and they would guide me to these offices to ask for this kind of help. I went to the library too, which is really helpful, and I talked to the people there, and they show me how to navigate the UNM system, how to look for papers, or journals, or things that I needed for my research too. So I guess UNM has a lot of things that are helpful for students. You just need to go and ask for it and look for it too. And also there are a lot of like resource centers like El Centro for Hispanic Students and the LGBTQ Resource Center, and all of these places that are also really helpful when you need something.
You as a student, you already come here and you already have 3 emails. You have Gmail, Hotmail, and whatever. And then of course you get here and then you have another one that is the UNM one, and you're like, I already have the other 3 that I have. I really don't want to check the UNM one. You need to check the UNM one. It doesn't matter. Like, always check your UNM email, because that's the other way that teachers communicate with you. For me, it was kind of hard because I always expect the teacher to tell me everything in the class, but if there is a change, they just send an email. If I want to like ask a question, they want you to send an email. So that was a part like kind of hard for me, but like you really need to get used to it.
Something also new for me was the walking hours from the professors that I never had that at home. So coming here, that's a window that they are giving you to help you in everything that you want. So if you have questions about like making an exam and your answers were correct but not enough correct because the professor was expecting something else from you, then go to these working hours and ask them what exactly do they want, or if you have questions about any topic or anything, just go to the working hours and talk with your professor. They are super helpful.
It's important that your teachers know who you are, because there are certain requirements that international students have to follow in order to meet their visa requirements and everything. For example, students have to be registered in 12 units, some 15 units if you have an Amigo scholarship. So if you're failing a class, or if your instructor drops you, that means you're not meeting your visa requirements. And that's something that a lot of teachers won't know about you and won't think about. They'll think that they're doing you a favor by withdrawing you from a class or dropping you from a class if your grades are down. But if they do that and you're under your requirements for your visa, then that's a very bad thing.
Pay attention to your grades. Just like don't let just take your test and say, oh yeah, I'm kind of pass and whatever. Like if you have a scholarship, you have to keep track of your grades, because then you have to know how to calculate your GPA and know if you are gonna keep your scholarship or just like lose it.
Participating in class is actually very, very open for international students. So a lot of people think that, oh, because I have this language barrier, they're gonna like, I'm gonna halt everybody's progress because I'm talking in slower English or in like different accent or stuff like that. But actually the teachers and other students would actually really, really love to listen to your perspective, especially because they don't experience what you experience back home.
I always try to look for someone who I'm gonna work with in my class, because it's much better that you can check your homework and check what is happening in the classroom with someone else. The syllabus. That is something that, at least for me, I don't have in my country. Here, I feel like here in the US, they really want you to success in the class, and they give you very detailed what they want for you. So you should use that. Yeah, and also I want to add the TAs. That's something that is new for me too when I got here. So the teacher assistants, they are really helpful too. Like they are there because sometimes you have these huge classes that of course the teacher will not remember your name, because maybe you are like with 300 like students, and sometimes you have a TA sitting next to you. So just ask questions, like don't worry about it.
So what I think you need to be a successful student in the US or at UNM is to know what you want here. So some people want academic success, some people want career success, some people want social success. So you have to define first what you want. So I decided here when I came that I want academic success because I have plans for my master's after this. So it's always a trade-off. So I have to sacrifice some of my social aspects to focus more on my academic pursuit. So that's what I think is important. You have to decide first what you want.